I actually fucked it up.
What have you fucked up?
I actually, when I put up for the thing for the listener questions, I put the wrong episode number, and people are messaging me like, "Dude, it's episode 25, not 24." I was like, honestly, I've lost count at this point. So
episode 25, a quarter of a way to 100.
Yeah, and it looks like we're not going to get to 100, which is.
Yeah, we got the date. What's the grand date for when they're saying not all of the incremental changes, the actual final date where in theory the world is normal? Or the new normal.
I believe it is stage 4. No earlier than the 21st of June.
Okay. Do you remember those?
Were you thinking it was closer? No,
wait. Do you know what? Ultimately, I feel a bit numb to it all now. A bit like, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It feels so far away. I don't even. I can't think what I've got on until then. That's what I was really thinking. Ooh.
Yeah, dude, I was having the same thoughts about it as well. Actually, I think sort of wanted to mention as well that you can't let it get to you. If I mean, it's going to naturally, but I've definitely over the last sort of few days again, I've let this thing get to me a little bit, and I've been a bit like down and a bit like
have you
bummed
over
out.
it?
Yeah, just a bit bummed out a little bit. I think what it is, it's when it like comes round to a Friday. I feel like for me that's like Friday evenings are almost feel like the worst, because normally you'd be, you know, going back and forth with a few friends. You go in here, let's go ride this, let's go here, let's go to a club, go to a gig, and it's just nothing.
I know. Yeah,
I think that for me has been like every sort of Friday. I'm like, oh, God, another weekend. What am I going to do? Same as I've done all week.
It's just like weeks just disguise time, because you feel like you've got like, oh, I've got X amount of time where I have to do stuff, and then I'm looking forward to these 2 days where I don't have to do stuff or whatever. You know, it just disguises, and then the monotonous nature of just life over and over again in lockdown. It does drag out more, doesn't it?
It does. The days are weird because they feel like the days are kind of long, because I'm making sure that I get up early, other than today. Get up early and sort of like have like really full days. I really try and pack it as much as I possibly can into the days to make them feel longer. But then it does feel like all of a sudden it's Friday and you're like, where did that go? Like all of a sudden it's Friday and it's the weekend, and then you're back into the grind of Monday again. And yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's definitely been getting to me, and I wanted to make sure that I've sort of mentioned that gets to the best of us, but don't let it be normal. I think that's the thing as well. It's not letting it be normal. Like, we are just getting through it still. You know, don't not speak to your friends for considerable amounts of time. And again, that's something I've been thinking about. I've got friends that I was really close with, you know, last year that I haven't spoken to for months, and it's because there's nothing to really talk about. As sad as that sounds, like, what do you do? Like, what do you talk about? Oh, should we do this? No, can't do that. Are you all right? I'm all right. Pretty numb. Like, it's
yeah. Strange. It is tough, isn't it? Yeah, I try and be fun time Freddy the whole time, but just every now and then I'm just like,
it's natural. Yeah,
you know, it gets exhausting even being fun time Freddy, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. It's funny because I was just having a conversation just before we did this with my sort of colleague at Saks, and I was like, oh, I just feel a bit bummed out today, dude. And I'm like, oh, you know, usually I get up early and I, you know, sort of, like I said, try and cram my days pretty full. But this morning I just wanted to get back in bed, and I think it's a combination of I'm doing a lot of training for this running thing that I'm doing, this challenge. Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing that, but that's another story. It's a combination of that. And then, like, having a weekend, I went out riding as well. So last week I ran 32 miles last week in the week, and went riding on Sunday. And I was just actually knackered, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Hang on, just give me a sec. I've just noticed that it's not uploading. Oh no, we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. So yeah, it's a combination of that, but like, we were chatting beforehand, sorry to waffle on, and he's like, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I just feel a bit down. He's like, how do you get on when you do the podcast? Can you just like turn it on? And I was like, it's weird because you sort of do, like, just go, oh, we'll be all right. And we'll just chat away and sort of snap out of it.
Innit? But imagine equally, if both of us were bummed and we had to do a full 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then imagine then if you were bummed at home and then you're listening to two guys bummed. Like it'd just be, it'd just be miserable,
I know, man.
wouldn't
It's
it?
true. It is true. It is true. So yeah, it does feel sometimes. I guess people probably would like to maybe hear that it isn't all, amazing, and it's like actually sometimes I'm like I really kind of don't want to. Not that I don't want to do this, but you're like, I just sort of feel a bit low today.
I tell you what, I do think
power through.
as a full-time fun time Freddy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always worth the effort. If you fake it, it just like I way prefer that than wallowing in misery. So even if I'm, I'll kind of get myself hyped if I'm over it. And it does work, dude. It does.
And what
work.
are your ways to do that? Do you think? Like, let's say you are, one of our listeners, general public, whatever. You sat around, you're feeling a bit low. What do you do? What are your things?
Okay, so I just guess there's infinite number of ways you can look at everything. So you can be like, fucking hell, it's cold and wet outside and it's a bog, and I can't be bothered to go riding. Or you make yourself be bothered, then you put on music, or you put on a podcast, or you like. I think it's easier for me because I find myself being interested in stuff super easy. So it doesn't almost matter what the topic is. As you've probably noticed, I can get into shit and be a bit obsessed with it for a bit. So then you can listen to a podcast on it, research into it, or even just a new track, new music, go out for a cross-country ride. I think exercise is unbelievably useful for me, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you pair that exercise of like just getting yourself out of the house, you instantly feel better because you've won over your brain and your heart telling you to stay indoors or whatever. Pair that with music or something, and I think that seems to be for me like that's the golden, turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been riding. So that's easy for me. I'm on the exciting part of recovery. So I've not ridden my actual bike yet, only e-bike, because I figured it was like longer travel and less. It's just gnarly putting weight through it at the minute. I just don't know what I can get away with. So I've gone for a load of e-bike rides. Stoked.
Amazing.
I waste the whole battery, potter around in the woods, don't really do anything, but man, is it good to be back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Just
really
floating
happy.
around, just getting some blood circulating.
Yeah, exactly. Also, to listeners, this doesn't apply, but you might have noticed something in the room.
Well, viewers will probably see it as well.
Viewers will, but...
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. I got it. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you meant...
So you might have noticed something just over my right shoulder up there on the rack.
I know.
Ready to go.
Is she pearling? She's ready to rip, is it?
Dude,
built.
The Pink Panther is built, ready to go.
Looks
so
dope.
Pleased with it, man. Like, I left it with Fat Creations in a splattery mess, and I left the room, and didn't realise quite how much work they do after to clear up all of my mistakes. So on a video it'll look like I did a really good job. I didn't do a good job. But
how hard is it to spray a bike?
It's not that easy. It's just the attention to detail is absolutely insane. And since I left, they've sanded it down. So they lacquer it and sand it until there's zero imperfections. And they've done that 4 times, I think, since I left.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a long process, dude. Yeah. And then so again, I'm not attention to detail guy. So when a new bike comes, I just think, it looks new. Factory paint is often really, really great, I think. I look at all of my bikes that have been finished. Obviously, the Focus factory paint is of much higher quality than normal, but
some say the best.
Some say the best. But he pointed out to me, Ali pointed out to me, like the it's called orange peel, and it's what you get in like a factory paint shop setting, I think. And it is crazy when you look at this pink job, how reflective and how just what a bike looks like with zero imperfections is insane.
That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, orange peel is that just that it's rushed, or it's just a bit thicker? Because he said that they do that just to stop any not imperfections, but like to mask a lot maybe or some stuff up. I don't know.
You go. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I'm too stupid. But just when you see like with anything across the board, when you see someone who's like really good at it and like really knows what they're on, there are like endless intricacies and shit that I don't think about. Yeah. And then you see a final product and you're just like, what? Like it looks so insane. The finish on it looks so insane. That's just like a second-hand bike. That's like a bike that I've ragged around for probably half a year. I probably did on that, and then they've sanded it back and then made it look like
it's really cool.
like my first.
Cool, such a
mountain
good
bike.
idea, man, as well. Such a great, really cool concept to go back to the original, the OG bike. It's dope.
Yeah, stoked. Yeah, and I tell you what, we've probably got YouTube to thank for that. So thanks YouTube for making me try and come up with ideas. Huh?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, making it creative. I like it, man. It's, it's a
go.
little piece of memorabilia for the OW Museum when that's up and running in the Surrey Hills.
OW Museum. Can you imagine the OW Museum?
It was quite cool, actually. Some sort of like cool furniture that's like a bit busted and sort of...
You're just saying it's just a room of shit stuff. Well, I tell you what, if that's what you're after, we've already got it going on here in the Surrey Hills. It's called my house.
Oh dear. I don't know. What sort of build have you gone with? Is it relatively standard to what you normally ride? Is there anything fresh on there? Or
I tell you what, I'm terrible, and I don't want to constantly use up more and more parts. So I've taken my old bike and I've just swapped the parts over, which is such a, it's such a bad thing to do with something that has so much effort gone into it being completely perfect with the paint job. But I don't want to constantly. I just sound like a sport brat, but I'm not. I don't want constant new things when the things I've got on are fine.
I think it's great.
And so there were certain things like the cranks, for instance. I swapped Well, actually, you're gonna have to tune in. You're gonna have to tune into my next YouTube video.
When's that going out?
That comes out exactly when I edit it, and on that you can see the dilemma I have. I'm just pathetic because I like old stuff as well. It doesn't really do anything for me, it being new. And I sound super annoying because I'm a sport brat and I get new stuff. But yeah, I just think it's pointless. And so I've got away with as minimal pointless parts as physically possible. Not
Sick.
Pointless parts, but like new for no reason.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm excited and looking forward to seeing the vlog ting. And exciting times to do this. Really cool. Really
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Cool, like I say, cool concept. Love the whole thing, the whole vibe of it. It's rad.
Good,
so
thank you.
Yeah, so
I should I speak about it? I don't know if I should.
Up to you.
So, I don't know if I should.
Uh-oh.
Well, the COVID police went round to Fat Creations because of my video.
We can talk about it, dude. Yeah.
Can we talk about that? That's fine, isn't it?
We can. Yeah, of course.
So maybe I was off on it, but I was. I don't know. So someone's complained, whether it's through watching the video or whether it's locally, and the COVID police came over. And this is a policeman, and they had a go at Fat Creations for...
Wow.
It's so funny, dude, because a paint shop is like the most filtered air. Like the level of filtration they've got going on there. Like the smallest speck of dust is a real problem. So the whole building is just like the whole time.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do you feel filtered when you come out? Do you feel like you've got a bit more wind in the old
spring
pipes?
in your step? No, because I inhaled most of the paint as well because I talk too much. But yeah, it is. I don't know. It's funny, but isn't that weird? I just wondered whether you'd had any COVID police experiences. As far as I'm concerned, I'm doing my job and I'm there for one day. And I have a negative test, and we stay 2 meters apart, and we wear masks.
Which you can see in the video as well. Like you can see that you were doing that.
Yeah, it's not
making a conscious effort to do it. So
it's not that we didn't think about it, but I just didn't think people did complaining like that. But complaining.
I've not had honestly like up here. I've not really had or seen anything. The only thing I think we actually spoke about it. I had a little bit of Strava police on a COVID police on a Strava ride, which I thought was. I don't know what was going on with that. It just seemed kind of crazy to me. And I had him again this weekend because I left Strava on when I came home from a ride in the van.
Yeah.
And people were, because I got like 5 or 6 comms on the way home, and people were like, I had 4 emails or 4 messages of people like, "Can you trim your ride? You've taken my comm." Like in the van.
Oh, it's so weird.
Who gives a shit? Like it's bothered.
A lifetime, like life computer game. It's kind of the same as that Pokemon thing. Do you remember that Pokemon app thing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I never got it. I would not go down that route. But you used to see all of the on the there was like there must have been a hotspot around here on the canal.
Yeah,
because there was just like a lot of sort of how do you put them? You know, like the cartoon guy off Simpsons. A lot of people like that.
Oh yeah.
Walking around with chargers in the pocket and like cables everywhere, like looking for Pokemon.
Interesting thought, isn't it? Like computer games and real life, like the Because really, Strava is a little bit computer game. Zwift certainly is a computer game, but actually you are pedaling, and Pokemon you're actually waving.
At least it got standard wasters out of the house, sort of doing stuff, which is good.
Oh, I spoke to someone the other day. Who would. So, have you ever tried their virtual reality goggle things?
I've never have actually. No.
Okay, it is a bizarre experience. I had to go on. I think it was called an Oculus Rift, and it was when I went and there was a downhill. There was a mountain biking app that I had a character in. Believe it or not, it was.
Yes, I remember.
It was a game. Yeah. When I was in their studio, I had to go on this thing, and it was. It wasn't porn. But where I'm going to with this is that this dude has watched porn on a thingy.
Wow, I mean...
On a 3D glasses.
And where do you stand with that?
Well, I don't know if I'd stand up. I'd be worried about falling over.
In a corner?
Facing the wall in a corner. Dude, it's bizarre, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot... It adds danger to the situation, doesn't it? You know, you hear the nightmare stories of people getting caught and seeing like cups of tea from their mum put on the desk. Shit. But he said it was like
a sketchy time to be alive, that man, when you're like 14.
And you've got an Oculus Rift and access to the internet. A secure connection.
I mean, dude, I had none of those things and it was still a sketchy time to be alive.
Right.
The old, was it called the Danger Wank, was quite prominent in our house.
Why was it? In what way was it dangerous? I'm interested.
I don't know. I always felt like there was eyes and ears on you when you're that age. You know, especially at night. You just like, as soon as the house goes quiet and you're there, just like trying to get your little fix, and you just like, I don't know, man. Strange time to be alive. That.
Yeah, imagine them now. Like walking around with goggles on. Like touching up the ball, with a set of those creepy gloves on with the balls on.
Oh man, just stained walls in teenagers' bedrooms.
Yeah, exactly. So the dude said it was like a POV experience, and he was looking at the subject of his video, and then he looked up. His friend said to look around. So to start with, they would. Watching this for a laugh. He wasn't like telling me about his most intimate moments, private moments. Yeah, they were watching this for a laugh. And he said he looked behind him and there's stuff going on back there as well. So it's just like a full 3D experience. You could spin around on an office chair and just look at all this different stuff. How bizarre. 360
masturbation, I think they call that.
They call it the sprinkler.
The sprinkler. Wow, dude.
Yeah, what a weird world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird world, dude. It's a really strange world, stuff like that.
Do you remember when you were younger and you talked to an older person and it was like, well, back in my day, like their day was fucking quite similar compared to now. Growing up with an Oculus Rift when you're
not relatable at all, and all of the access to it. I mean, it's not good for kids and teenagers, no doubt. The very, very different view on sex and women and men, or obviously men, whatever.
Yeah,
very different, very, very. I mean, we used to have a fucking crusty old bit of a magazine
that you find in the woods. Absolutely, yeah. We already talked about that, actually, didn't we? Yeah,
did we?
But yeah, we did, because my mum said, "Where was the magazine?"
Sorry.
And I was like, "No, it's around Andy's house. No, it wasn't in our garden." Yeah, we talked about it where we had a hidden porno mag.
Okay, all right, funny. And it's strange time, man, when you're that age. But anyway, I don't know how we can sort of. Have you actually? This is a good segue. Have you seen there's like a company that's doing like it must be an app, and you're like on board with certain riders. I saw one advertised yesterday. You're like on board with
they've messaged
needles.
Me a load. Yeah.
There you go. What's that? Do you know what that is?
I don't know. I mean,
have you not replied? I think you should go down that route, dude. I want to see it.
Dude, I just don't want to play games, man. I don't know.
It looks like they take your footage and they make it into a game, and you can.
That's what they asked me for, a load of POV footage, and then they make a level, and then you
send them some of that POV footage. The old chess cam bedroom.
Mike cried. Yeah. Sprinkler cam. No, Mike rides me chasing monkeys. They're like, dude, we really can't do anything with this. This is trash.
You turn it into a shooter game where you shoot monkeys going down a hill in Lake Toba.
Oh no. Yeah,
How did the voiceover work go?
Oh, dude, so funny. Yeah. So I'm back as a Lake Toba ambassador here in the UK. So there's a recording studio down the road from me that the Indonesian government have got in touch with, and I went down this morning and did my voiceover.
How was it?
Full on in the studio. All I was thinking about was those like Christmas number ones that are for charity.
Yeah, you should have banged one out while you were there. Not one of them, but
like old guys. Yeah. Not a sprinkler. No. Like old guys closing their eyes and singing passionately into the microphone. Like, so their nose, you know where their nose touches? I always think that's so sick. Where their nose touches and they're just singing so hard and so
eyes
deep.
Closed.
Just feeling it, dude. Feeling it. I had to do a little bit like that. But the dude, Olly, who's in the recording studio, like, it's so funny because I'm the director there and he's telling me to be more passionate and stuff. And I'm just like... So I have to say stuff. I can't remember what it's all going to come out, so there's no point in me trying to hide it. But I have to say stuff like, this energy, these trails, this energy, and stuff like that. And like obviously I'll say it like, I don't think I'm that bad at voiceover stuff. I'll be like, these trails, this energy, and he's like, Ollie, can we have it? I'm not going to do an accent because, you know, you'll take a clip from it and you'll make me look bad. So I'm just going to do an English accent for this section. But he's an Indonesian director, so he's like,
right.
Ollie, can you just add more passion? And then he'll say it. He'll be like, yeah, this desire, this energy, like that. And then I'll have to be, and then I'll sort of, dude, I'm not going to go all out. I'll go halfway. I'll give him halfway.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah, exactly. And then that makes me laugh because I realise that I've been like, you're not having it a full 100%. No. We save that for the documentary, you know? We save that for the documentary before the museum is launched. So I'm going like, yeah, this desire, this energy. And he's like, a little bit more maybe. Yeah, let's go with a little bit more. And then this desire. And then my eyes start closing. This energy. And then you just realise why all adverts sound the same and they all sound so ridiculous. One man.
Wow.
Desire.
Wow. And this is for... Because the advert already came out, so what's this for?
There's all sorts of adverts coming out.
Oh, there's more going on.
You know, it's funny because it's not in mountain biking. I don't know where any of this stuff really goes, whether it goes on flights, whether it goes on TV in Indonesia, or whether it goes... Not in Indonesia, or around the world or whatever, but certainly budget-wise, I would suggest that it's going to go... somewhere, you know, it's going to go some places. I think they've spent a lot of money on the, not as in, you know, I'm earning so much, as in because they've spent a lot of money on the whole project. So it must be going somewhere. It's going to be funny though, man. I close my eyes and scream in a waterfall with my shirt off. So if that's not enough to make you want to tune in, dude, I don't know what is.
Book your holiday, ladies and gentlemen.
And may I add, that isn't something I'd normally do, and I was acting for that bit, so...
Okay, alright, yeah, no doubt.
like a Michael Jackson Earth song.
I've seen the I've seen the Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where it goes, man. Hopefully you pop up on TV at some point.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? Would be funny.
Sat there watching The Voice and then boom, there you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm intrigued to hear what... Because... Brian Orton, the kayaker that was also with me, I'd be fascinated to see what he made of it all, because he will have had to do a separate video with his voiceover.
Yeah. And
just, he's top bloke. I think he will have found that so funny. Just him.
Really? Have you stayed in touch as well?
Yeah.
Rad.
Really, instantly got on super well with the dude. He's killing it. He's in, is it Zanzibar at the minute?
Is he?
Just fucking nailing giant waterfalls and whitewater the whole time. Yeah, killing it.
Interesting.
Him and his boys, they've got such a good crew, and they all, you know, all of these super high level kayakers just out there living in mud huts, and I don't even know what you call it, riding the river every day. Pretty cool.
Whatever they do, yeah. Interesting, man. Have you ever done it? Have you ever done kayaking?
I have. I don't know, actually, because kayak is different to canoe, and I might have done canoeing. Have you done kayaking?
Definitely
God.
done canoeing, I know that. But
Yeah, don't
never been in a kayak.
Kayaking, never been in a kayak.
Never been in a
Dude,
kayak.
Don't bother.
Probably going to avoid the kayak, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything water-based from now on is probably going to be a no-no.
Yeah, I was like that, but, you know, dude, I'm a surfer now, so I'm just out there getting barreled really, like... When I say I'm in the water, I'm in the pipe, if you know what I mean. So
the YouTube pipe.
I spend most... No, real life as well. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I'm going to be deep in there, getting pitted.
I'm a surfer now. Well, when I say I'm a surfer, I watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I reckon I'm gonna be an old age surfer, like an old age kook, just cutting people up and yeah.
Yeah, I think, dude, it's definitely a hobby for the ages. I reckon when you get a bit older, beautiful hobby.
Yeah,
beautiful hobby. Not so much in Surrey, but like beautiful hobby for sure.
Yeah,
we got to make that happen. I know we messaged about it the other day, but like going down south, we've been invited.
Please, let's do it.
Stay and stuff like that.
Would love to.
Yeah,
do you always find it hard to imagine it being as a mountain bike rider and like someone who's ridden moto and stuff? You know when people say like, "No, dude, wakeboarding's dangerous." I'm always a bit like, "Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like hurts and you can hurt your knee, and I no doubt it is dangerous, but in my head I can't picture it being."
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think once you've done stuff to a sort of an extreme, the level of fear is different to a lot of people's. Is that accurate, would you say? I mean...
Yeah, more likely to send it off the top of a wave and not think about... Like, I don't understand. I've watched so much surfing, I don't understand. When they're like surfing on like dry reef and stuff, like I don't really understand what happens with the energy of the water, whether you get when you get sucked over the falls or whatever... and ploughed into the bottom. Like, what? I almost can't picture what that means.
How do you think that relates to what we like with mountain biking? What is the equivalent of that in riding? For me, it'd be just gonna go on a whim there and go. Let's say more BMXy. Okay, there's this perfect stair set with a rail at the side, and you know that if you hop on and you grind down that rail, you're gonna hit a wall at the bottom. That's what it is to me. It's like, okay, you can ride that wave, but if you fall, you're gonna hit reef. So what's that like in mountain biking? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's like rampage sort of stuff. Like you have to make it. If you don't make it, then you go down.
True.
Hard. I guess. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear from surfers that also
we should get
mountain
one on.
bike.
Should we get one on?
Oh, don't. I'd be too nervous. I'd be too shy.
There's one that I sort of know. Who's pretty good.
Be interesting.
We can make it happen.
He can lay out my my future path to getting barreled.
Yeah.
I wonder, as a 35-year-old mountain biker, whether you could just start now and one day be barreled. You know, whether you could.
I reckon.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you dedicated enough time to it, and you really, you maybe got some help.
Yeah.
I reckon.
What sort of help? Like counselling.
Yeah, counselling. I reckon you could do it. I reckon.
Or do you mean like armbands?
Armbands, yeah.
Just armbands and counselling. You might make it into the barrel.
Yeah. This is what you need: armbands, counselling, and a nose clip.
Yeah, exactly. It's not making it into the barrel anyway. It's coming out, isn't it? That's what I wonder. Be fascinating to hear.
Yeah, it would definitely. If you want to do it, we can get a surfer on. I reckon pretty easily.
What would you say from your moto years?
Yeah.
Do you then when you're in moto years, were you looking at mountain biking like, it's just mellow, man? You're going 12 mile an hour around like little corners and there's trees.
It's interesting that actually, because I feel like there is a really good transition that way. So a lot of moto guys, once they pick up a mountain bike, seem to be able to go pretty fast on one.
Yeah.
Naturally, like there's this natural sort of, you've just got something.
Quite heavy-handed, a lot of them, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A different riding style, for sure. Dude, my riding style when I first got on a downhill bike was horrible.
Yeah.
But pretty fast. Like,
totally.
Just naturally pretty fast at it. The opposite way is interesting, because not many people can just jump on a motocross bike. There's so much more stuff going on. You got clutch, you got brake, you got brake on your foot. The whole thing is a lot harder, I feel like.
And I tell you what, sometimes when like mountain bike guys have them riding moto in their video segments, to a moto guy, they must watch that and just be like, You know, even if someone's really competent and they can maybe whip a bit. And that's
True,
why Bernard's
totally.
quite an outlier because he looks fucking sick on a moto. I think he's got like good moto style.
Definitely. Like, 100%. Like you said, there's a lot that will be okay. You probably enter a club race and go pretty good. Maybe, you know, but to go to that level. But the opposite way is quite interesting, where people that are like average moto riders will get on a downhill bike and be instantly pretty quick at it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. But maybe they don't have the flair though, or the pizzazz. Like if you took them to dirt jumps, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, I don't even know what I'm. But like hurtling down a hill through ruts that you're used to over jumps is like you're sort of used to it anyway. It's just a different bike.
So you would have said that they would generally look at it as like, it's not that dangerous.
I don't know actually. I'm trying to think. I mean, I remember personally like entering my first downhill race, which was actually in Australia at a place called Thredbo.
Yeah.
And being like, pretty confident, like comfortable with it instantly. And I'd never really spent much time on a downhill bike. But I was pretty comfy and did quite well at it as well, just like totally random because it rained like fuck. And I think that was one of the things as well. A bit like Warner, like it rained and everyone else was like, what the hell? Especially Aussies were like, what the fuck do we do here? And the English guys were like, let's go.
Oi, oi.
Yeah, we were like, oi, let's go. So, I don't know, man. It is an interesting one. And I can't really remember. I think personally, I've always had like both things in my life all the time.
Yeah.
It's always, especially when I was younger, like it was motor at the weekends. Yeah, 100%. But like in the week, it was riding trails and BMX tracks and whatever. So I don't quite ever really remember.
It's hard to work out from the outside, isn't it? Like in terms of different sports. Like surfing, I guess you crash and drown. There's an extra element added on there, so it's not like you just hit a tree, knocked out.
I watched that. You watched much of the Kyle Lenny stuff? Yeah, so there's like
all
a World Surf League. All of it. But like when he's going out, wherever it is, Nazaré, yeah, thank you, sir. Nazaré, and you know, looking at that wave, that must be super intimidating still. From no matter how much you've been in the water, knowing that if you fall in, you fucking spending a lot of time underwater. But they have those like air jackets, right? They come to the top.
I watched one the other day and someone KO'd. So they
I think I seen that they like washed him up to the beach.
Yeah, that's so horrible. Being knocked out in the water is just mind blowing.
Like the one where the jet ski sort of, was it that one? There was
yeah. That was terrible.
Water came
wasn't
together.
It? Oh, that was how he got knocked out, wasn't it? Yeah. That's it.
Fucking scary, bro. Scary.
Very scary.
Yeah, definitely down for a surf trip. 100%. Because I did have a surfboard. I broke it last year.
Yeah.
I actually broke a surfboard, which is crazy. So getting
loading it in the
rad.
back of the van?
No, I think it was just in that shallow water that it just stuck the nose into the sand and just snapped it in half.
You went over the bars?
Yeah, I went over the bars on a surfboard. So I need to buy a new one. But yeah, I'm down. I'm down for a surf trip for sure.
Yeah.
There is something nice about it, dude. That's for sure. Like just going in the water.
Yeah. So do you think you could? Oh, that's a noisy motorbike, isn't it? Could you hear that?
Yeah, I could.
If you could go in, so let's say you're at Pipeline, would you go in the water and swim around in the waves, or is that just an insane proposition? I think it's an insane proposition.
Insane proposition. You know, actually, I spent a lot of time in Australia for a year, living in a place called Cronulla, which was like a bit of a surf town just outside Sydney. And I remember being there and it started pumping like hard, and there was no way I'd even consider going in that water.
Really? Oh, that's so sick,
no chance.
Dude. That's so sick.
Not a prayer would you even go into that water.
Yeah.
But there was surfers swimming out, and you're just like, fuck that. Yeah. And they were like, let's say, I don't know how big a wave normally is, but like, let's say they were 10 foot.
Yeah.
And then you look at what those guys are doing out in Nazaré or whatever.
Oh yeah, those things are crazy. But they're towing only on that. Or, I actually don't know. Maybe you can paddle in. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Surfing. Did you watch
I can't
Slayground?
swim, so I'd be fine. Yeah, how amazing was that?
So sick. If anyone hasn't seen that, who fancies dipping the toe in a little bit into some moto, check out Slayground. Axel Hodge's latest edit. Slayground 3.
I liked at the beginning where he has the chick bring him over stuff. I just thought, wow.
Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, it's been a while since I've seen some good old fashioned. Amazing they get away with it, but there you go.
That's funny.
You know what I mean, though, eh?
Yeah, totally.
Like, it shocked me. I was watching it like, did he just grab her rod? He did. He grabbed her rod. There we go.
There you go. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, but I might wait until our guest joins us because I think it relates to him quite well as well. So I'll probably wait for that one because I do want to talk a little bit about something to do with that. I'm just looking. It doesn't look like he's here just yet. So it's Lent, apparently. do you give anything up for Lent? Yeah.
No, do you know what I do when it comes to like New Year's resolutions and Lent and stuff? This is how narcissistic I am. I just go like this. Keep doing you, dude. Keep doing you, and that's me I'm patting myself on the back. Just keep on going, dude. Don't give anything up. Don't give up.
That works.
Just keep ploughing on like a wrecking ball.
Keep moving forwards, whatever that is.
Exactly, yeah. How about you? You giving anything up for Lent?
Nah, dude, nah. Can't take anything else out of life. I think it's already pretty it's pretty bare. It'd just be even more miserable.
Oh no. Yeah, true. So, in other news, the cat's learnt how to open the scorpion den. So, have I talked about the scorpion? Georgie came in and the three-legged cat, she just hangs off the front of this little square thing that's his pen.
Is he local?
You what, sorry?
I would like to see the scorpion, I'll be honest with you.
That's the scorpion lair.
Oh, wow, it's big.
Yeah, so he's under his log at the minute. He's a desert hairy scorpion. But George has come in the room and the cat's got his head in the pen and the scorpion's out with its tail out. Jeez. I think we've got... Dude. I worry that we've got another sort of repeat bloody escaped snake.
Oh man, you don't want a scorpion.
No, it would suck, wouldn't it? It would suck.
It would.
Yeah, it would suck for sure.
I think we have it. Here we are.
Here he is.
How's it going?
What a G.
I was sitting I thought I was in the waiting room for the last 2 minutes, and I was like, I need to click join here.
Mate, honestly, this thing confuses the shit out of me every single time. So, in theory, what should have happened is you should have come up here on my screen as in the waiting room, and then I could let you in.
Ah, right, okay, cool. I thought I was just sitting there.
Dude, it just never. Honestly, it's
it's good, bro.
It is what it is.
How are you boys doing?
Mate,
good.
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Yeah, really, really good. Thank you for. Thanks for joining us, man.
No
Thank
worries.
you. Thank you.
No worries.
Do you know what? Do you know what I saw, Davey? Duncan's podcast is the most pro thing I've ever seen.
It's high end, huh?
Really?
What you're saying is it makes this look like a shower of shit.
So bad, yeah.
It's because I gotta make up for my horrendously bad chat.
I don't agree. I think it's fantastic, and just the angles and everything, dude. I was really impressed. I was impressed and deflated at the same time. I was like, wow, Dunk, yeah. Oh man, I just hung up a jersey in the background. And I thought
It's basically because I'm living in the same farm as Robbie Mead from We Are Penny Media, and I just basically go upstairs and I'll be like, oh, is that can I use that red camera to shoot the podcast? And he's like,
dude,
yeah, you can try.
Heavy.
It just makes it an absolute nightmare to edit though, because it's such heavy footage. So that was
they're gnarly, aren't they? Red cameras. They're really difficult. You have to put it through software and stuff.
Yeah, I think the cards that go in it are a terabyte. So that's not happening again. It's not worth it, especially for podcasts. It's completely pointless, but it was quite funny to try it.
Dude, good effort. Good effort. I think, you definitely brought your A game to the old podcast party. That's for sure. Which is good.
Yeah, thanks for all your help with it. It's pretty rad that yourselves and all the other boys are getting on. It could be so easy to be quite not arsey about it, but you know what I mean. It's always difficult. So much appreciated.
Yeah, we got the brotherhood going on. We got the podcast brotherhood's pretty good actually.
And stuff you could so easily just ignore me when I ask you stuff. So it's cool. we talked about ages ago, didn't we? When I was on. I was on 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, did that sort of kickstart it then? Because I was I remember saying, dude, you need a podcast, start a podcast, and then all of a sudden, there it is.
I thought about it for ages, and I nearly started it during lockdown, but then I was kind of fancied doing it if I could do some in person at least, so I just held off. So
yeah,
In
you did it
person
the
is
right
the
way.
dream, isn't it? You can just see it works better. Like me and Davey end up talking over ourselves the whole fucking time, and like I can't wait to do them in person.
Have you guys done one in person before?
Yeah.
Like together?
Yeah. Only one, I think. Can't remember now.
Not since lockdown though.
Yeah.
No, not since lockdown. No. No, we should have maybe done one when we did Freedom Ride, but we didn't. But
we were too deep in the freedom, the temporary freedom.
Yeah, just having fun. Nice, speaking to other
Basically,
people,
like
not
all
each
your
other.
faults that were in second lockdown.
Yeah,
You just kept boys, come on.
You boys had it dialed the first lockdown.
Yeah, it was good, to be honest. It's like we've said to people that I've had on the podcast, pretty much everyone's, well, everyone I've spoken to has had a good time, almost to the level where they feel bad about how good a time they've had.
Really?
But, just because it's giving you a chance to actually be at home and, like, appreciate the stuff you have on your doorstep rather than travelling all the time. But
guess you've usually got a crazy schedule, especially with the tour, right? The drop and roll tour.
Yeah, like the last few years especially last year was like mental, just literally away all the time. And it's so much fun, but at the same time, sometimes you're just doing stuff because you're in the way of doing it and you don't realise that. I don't know, at the same time, I still can't wait to get back to doing it because it's like cool to have a break and then it's going to make it better again when we go back.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think do you think it'll improve like the whole show side of it or not? Like just having a bit of time to think about it.
I actually don't know when we'll be able to do even now with like the sort of positive news and stuff coming out. I don't know if we'll be able to do a show like until at least like end of the summer or something. But
I know. I guess
class,
most of your stuff was like trade shows, which they're not going to be happening for a while. Let's be honest. I think like mass gatherings of people like that aren't going to be happening for a while.
I'm hoping like maybe Sea Otter works out when we do a show there because like I almost feel that Sea Otter could in America. It seems like they're not.
Man, give a shit.
Like, watching the Supercross and stuff, I was like, we could do a drop and roll show in America right now if they'd let us in.
Yeah, probably could. You're right. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You could make your show safe if you were riding inside Zorbs.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Idea.
That was a bit I was absolutely cracking up at when was it the Warner one that you guys did? You were talking about, and like you were trying to explain that, and I'd seen it before, so I knew what you were talking about. And it was like Olly's reaction was like, "Did you like Google it?" You're like, "Oh, they're at a Zorb concert." I was like, "That is crack."
I had to Google after the guy in Russia going down that hill, and that is quite horrific.
Oh yeah,
that's bad.
I've seen that one.
There's the dude, isn't there, like running after it, like, oh no, it's
just everyone's had that feeling of helplessness where you sent a text to the wrong number and you're like, you can't take it back. It's happening.
Yeah,
that's like the ultimate.
I actually remember exactly where I was when I was shown that video. I was in an all-you-can-eat buffet in a 2-star hotel in Magaluf with my mates in 2014.
Dude,
and I remember getting shown that video.
Did you get the shits?
Probably.
Wow. It's weird times, it's strange times. Who knows when we're going to be able to go travelling and shit again? I mean, it looks like there's certain things coming out now. We've not even spoke about it yet, Ollie, but it looks like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's a weird thought now we got a date, a date that in theory is going to be normal. Like that to me is quite strange, and I do have a certain amount of like normal. I want it to be normal loads, but equally there's also a part of me that's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just can't imagine it.
It's quite a good excuse to get out of things, isn't it?
Definitely. I've used it a few times, I'll be honest.
You must have changed, like, Davey, you must have been, like, travelling so much before.
Oh, man.
Even within the UK. And it's just
my, like, normal day-to-day before this was 4 or 5 days pretty much on the road, up and down the UK, staying in hotels and stuff. So I'm one of those, like you said before, like, I've actually sort of enjoyed certain aspects of this. Like, having routine is amazing. Like, since leaving school at 16... I haven't had a routine. I've not had a job which has needed a routine. Every day's always been pretty much different. So yeah, to have some form of like, every day I get up at this time, I go out with my dog at this time, and then I work for a little bit, and it's kind of nice. Like, obviously you miss being on the road, and I really miss visiting certain customers and stuff like that. But I've got so much more done, and it's amazing how I think that whole landscape of being a sales agent or a sales rep will just change so much from now.
Yeah,
It's
like even won't go back to normal.
yeah, because a lot of time you'd be driving to places and dude, this the amount of hours I've spent in bike shops, literally just stood there like just waiting for someone to be free, or you know, you get there and they've not told you that they're having a day off and you've driven 5 hours to a bike shop.
Yeah,
you know, stuff like that, and you just like, it won't happen. It probably won't happen again because you'll just be like, oh, let's just meet on whatever and we'll just chat through stuff. It is interesting, and I don't know how it's all going to play out, to be honest with you, because you know, you sort of, a lot of it is like you miss the social side of it. That was what a lot of my job was. It's like, yeah, you go to a bike shop, but then afterwards you might go for a bike ride, or you go for a coffee locally or something like that. Like, I miss that side of it. But a lot of it, you know, unless it's like something really new, like a new brand or a new product, you don't have to be on the road showing people anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
It's done. Like, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how it's all gonna play out.
Cool.
Been mega different for everyone, hasn't it? Like if you're single and you're home alone, it's got to be shit. It's got to be tough. If you're Duncan Shaw and you've got a giant crew, a huge barn,
giant crew of two.
Oh yeah, well, you know, come on. And a load of pieces of wood. It looks like an endless playground. I'm not joking. I'm fucking jealous, dude. I wish I could just like have that much fun without a set of like. I think about it. I need like a hill, a mountain, a set of dirt jumps that take ages to build, whereas you boys can just fucking entertain yourselves endlessly.
Nah, it's fine. We're definitely locked out. Like,
oh, it's so sick.
This time as well, for sure. Like, but we're like, there's a mini ramp in this barn, and like as trials riders, we're already like looking at it and be like, well, that's pretty good there, but it'd be kind of better if it was like made into something else.
So what is that? Like, where are you? Like, what's that spot and what you...
So it's basically, it's in, I don't even know how to say it, Powys in mid Wales, where Robbie Mead's like family sort of home is.
Right.
So it's like a farm. It's pretty insane. We've locked out in so many ways because we've got like the barn, but just with the podcast as well, there's so many people around here. Like, it's like such a...
Oh, so that's how you've managed to get like, I'm trying to think who you've had recently.
Yeah, so like Kate.
Help me.
Had Veronique Sandler on a couple of days ago, so she's going to be on it like tomorrow, whatever. Or
awesome!
Tomorrow. Or
cool, man.
I don't know when your stuff comes out, but
link to download above or watch.
Yeah.
Above.
Cheers. Who else? Yeah, there's like loads. Like, so you have like literally like within a few miles, you have like Tani, Kate, Chaos, Vero, Leo, and then like the Athertons aren't too far away. Matt Walker's like literally like 35 minutes down the road. It's like
sick.
Just
right. So I was wondering actually how you were doing it.
Like, not actually had to travel, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But from outside looking in, it probably looks like I'm literally like driving all over the shop, but
no, it's cool. I was wondering actually how you managed to do it, because I think as a podcaster too, like the dream is to just sit with people and just riff and chat. Like that is what it in my eyes should be. So yeah, you've done it the right way, dude. And did you know that like coming into like the podcast space, like that was the thing to do?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I wanted to do, I think. But at the same time, I think I'll definitely do like remote ones as well, because like, you know yourself, it's so easy to make that first connection of like, yo, you up for coming on? And they're like, yeah, like, which I'm totally blown away by how many like big deals have like got back to me and respond to my like little DM being like, oh, you up for coming on? And they're like almost always up for it.
Yeah.
But it's like the next bit after that that's like, right, when are we actually going to do it?
Yeah,
and
scheduling, especially when we're not in lockdown. That is like, that's one thing that I've especially like time zones, and then you're like, right, okay. I've literally, every single episode I've done with someone that's outside the UK, I've fucked the time zone up. Yeah. So I'd be sat there like an hour early or an hour late, like, where the hell is this guy?
You thought the time difference between New Zealand and the UK was 1 hour, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, that's a prime example. So
well,
there
did you
go.
think it just went like so far the other way around? It was like...
Oh man, so yeah, it's tough.
How many of you guys done that? Like, how many of you guys done together? Like 27 or something?
So many now, yeah.
This is 25 lockdown ones. And then how many, where's Olly's did we do? Might have done 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah, 4 or 5 of those, and then I came on your podcast before, didn't I?
Yeah, you've done that twice, I think.
If you think about how much time you actually spend talking to someone, when you start doing it regularly like this, it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, you guys must know each other
I speak to you
well,
more than I speak to anyone.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Dunk, do you feel when you sit down with someone for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you do sort of feel like like that level of conversation you wouldn't normally have in real everyday world, would you? You wouldn't just sit at a table and just like...
Nah, it's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah, but like you sort of think about it in hindsight, it's intense, but it doesn't...
Yeah.
Like right now, dude, this could just be a pub or something, couldn't it? It's like...
Nah, for sure, it's definitely like a random one, especially when they're like 1 or 2 hours long, whatever.
Yeah. Have you done anything with someone that you don't know going into it yet?
Yeah, so like the one, to be honest, like not to take away from what I've done with everyone else, but like 2 of the ones I really enjoyed because even though like I think the one that I did with Deacon was good in that I kind of like felt like I knew him well enough just through Instagram that I was kind of like familiar with him, but I don't really know him at all.
Right.
And partly because we were just drinking as well helped. But I was just like, I didn't know much about him, so it was like cool to actually do it. Whereas when I did it with say Danny and Robbie, I was like, oh, this has got potential to be like a really good one because like I feel like I could ask like questions that people wouldn't think to ask.
Yeah.
But I think people enjoyed it, but like I look at it back and I'm just like cringing because I just thought it was like so forced and weird and awkward because like we sat down and we were so used to getting the crack and we know each other about everything and we actually like sat down. I don't know, it just didn't like feel right.
Really,
I've spent like I've been in lockdown with Danny pretty much for the last 12 months.
Yeah, you know everything about each other.
We chatted endless amounts of shit to each other. To then like sit down for like another 2 hours to talk about some more about a project that we were both on. It was just weird. I was so close to like when I watched it back before we put it out, I was so close to just like not putting it out because I didn't like it. I was like, fuck it, it's done, put it out. But
it's hard to listen to yourself, isn't it? It's one of the most annoying things. I would actually like to get good at this, despite my current
You're good at it.
But I would like but I'd like to improve and understand how you can be better at something. I don't like to just plod along and just say the same dick jokes and like I'd like to actually. I just can't listen to myself. I hate I really struggle.
I think the way of getting better at this is just going with it. I think for me that's the biggest learning curve was just like letting the brakes off a little bit and just being yourself, because I know the earlier episodes of mine, I'd say probably like the first, God, I don't know how many I've done, let's say the first 40 or 50, you're like trying to be someone you're not. You're trying to like over research people, and that's not what people want to hear. For me, like that's not what I want to put out either. Like I don't want to be that guy that's interviewing someone that's going, right, tell me about this. I just want to sit and have like fun conversations with people, and I think just getting out of your own way. Yeah, getting out your own way there and like not doing that much research. Just having like a few bullet points. Because then it forces you to keep conversation going. Rather than... Do you
never get that like stressful feeling though when you're maybe like 30 minutes into a podcast and you're like, shit, your like notes are like maxed out.
Oh dude, yeah, been there, done that.
I don't know what I mean. So tell me about COVID-19.
Just got some go-tos like...
I did it before. I was like, so what are you giving up for Lent, Ollie?
Just like looking
no, it's true.
Room, like,
I always think about the one I did with Luca Shaw, and like that one was like a huge turning point for me because I didn't know anything about Luca really going into it.
Yeah.
Berryman, Joe from Steel City Media, like helped me sort it out. I had all these notes fucking everywhere in the room, like notes everywhere. And then, like you say, after the first 20 minutes, I think I was like, all right, I've gone through all of this. Now what? And then you have to just, like say, just get out your own way and just have a chat and be like, tell me some other shit. Like, what else is going on? You know? So it is an interesting thing. And I think a lot of people do feel that they probably can't do it as well. I always get a lot of messages, people like, oh, I could never do that. And you're like, of course you could. Like, you can just sit and talk to someone.
Yeah.
It's
really you can't really practice it either, though, which is what kind of freaked me out. Like, the first one I did was with Greg Williamson, which was someone who I'm, like, super chilled with. I know him, like, really well from the same hometown. But even then, like, I was, like, proper nervous, like, going to do it. But then you're like, why? It's like... Compared to like doing scary shit on your bike, it's like nothing that bad can actually happen. It's not even live, so it's like if it's super shit, just don't release it.
I can't imagine doing live TV.
I watched a video of myself. A bad start to the sentence. I watched a video of myself when I was 17. It just came up, and it was like a DMR road trip, and I was being interviewed, and I'm so crap. You know, like I thought I didn't care then, but I really must have cared. I was so worried. I like froze up. The camera was there. I didn't know what to do, And then I thought about what's changed, because nothing's really changed. Like, I'm pretty much the exact same person as when I was 17, unfortunately, for everyone. But I just think you just get, when you get older, you just care a bit less. And then ultimately you realise that actually fucking people don't want to listen to you worrying about what you're saying. Really, do they, you know? Like,
No.
I don't know.
True that.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty liberating when you finally, like, I guess you never truly let go, but as you get better doing it, just...
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. And it does, you know, you do get a lot more confident doing it. And I'd be sort of happy now to sit and talking to anyone. I think once you've got over that hurdle of, like, you know, there definitely used to be like, oh, it's such a big name, I don't want to fuck it up. And it's like, if you do, you do. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as you just give it your all and you just try your best and be yourself, that's the best thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's done like wonders for me. You know, I know this isn't about me at all, but like for my confidence a little bit, it has, because I'm naturally quite a shy person.
Yeah,
but then when you sort of, all of a sudden you see the numbers and you're like, okay, now a lot of people are starting to listen to me, like talking to people and stuff. It's done quite a lot for my confidence for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. It was interesting hearing Warner talk about, like, the sort of commentary side of things, and that's just like a whole nother level of, like, having to be so switched on, knows so much stuff. Like, and I think, like, with Warner, it's like you see him as like such a joke or whatever, but it's quite interesting to hear that he's actually like pretty switched on and obviously puts the work in with that, and like proper treats it as like you said, it's almost like a sport, isn't it?
It blew my mind when he knew how many times he'd sworn. I was just like, holy fuck, this is like, he's on it. Like, I'd never know what I've said half the time. I couldn't tell you what the podcast's about. Whereas Warner's like, that shows he's really good at it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's bloody good at the YouTubey thing.
Yeah, his YouTube videos are class.
Really good. I enjoy him. I think that one, it was good. Like, it's that fine balance of, like, for me, it's got a little bit of production value to it as well, because you see some slow mo stuff a little bit, and like the latest one that he did with Bren and Steve when he was like warming up, for example. It's just it's just like that perfect balance.
He's just got that dial, doesn't he? Like, obviously the YouTube thing's a bit different, but he's still he's just got that balance dial.
Yeah, he's killing it. Well, I brought something up earlier that I was wanting to talk to you about as well, Duncan. So I was listening to the latest Gypsy Tales podcast, and Jace had a guy called Mike Sleater on, who's like a former pro motocross guy, and they got talking about people within moto who make a living but not from racing, and how small of a window that actually is for people that are really killing it. 'Cause there's a lot of guys that are good, but in like the free ride sort of content creation side in moto in the States, you've got really two that are good, which would be like Tyler Berryman, Axel Hodges. Everyone else is probably like not really doing so great. But you guys both make a living not doing comps, not racing. So I was just wanting to like open it up as a conversation of like how that works, and like, do you think it would be harder for someone to get into mountain biking if they wanted to try and make a living out of it? Would they go more content creation route or competing route?
I guess the reality is both is hard. I don't know, like, I guess that's like me trying to say like what we do is like hard, but at the end of the day, there's probably like a finite, well, we know there's a finite amount of slots in like a race, in a World Cup or whatever, to do well enough to get paid. But at the same time, there's probably a finite amount of slots. Not slots, you don't want to be like that, because it's not like you're necessarily like taking the shit away from each other, but at the end of the day, even though people consume so much content, there's probably only so much people can consume, so it's like there could probably only be like space for maybe like, I don't know, 50 or 100 guys making money on YouTube producing mountain bike content or something, or maybe it's more than that, but it's still not like unlimited. I don't know,
it's interesting.
I think we're just like, whilst I do say it's hard, I do think we're like super lucky in that, like, just sitting in the kind of right place where like people like to watch certain stuff. Like, as trials riders, I definitely think we have it pretty easy, where, like Olly was saying, you can just kind of do it on anything, which is pretty good.
So cool and so relatable as well. I like that about trials. I think about like, all of your videos are so, you know, everyone knows how big a bench is. Yeah. You know, everyone knows how big a phone box is. Like, a dirt jump can be 4 foot out of the ground and 4 foot in the ground, and it just doesn't show any scale. Like when you see And yeah, so I think it translates really well. Like just visually, it's really cool.
Yeah, and we kind of like, look, we're just like, as cool as it would be for like, it'd be really rad, like especially now as we're getting older, like to see more kids get into it, and they kind of are, but trials just hasn't really been like, people just haven't taken up trials like you'd maybe expect them to, considering how many views that, like, especially people like say Danny and Fabio have had, like insane views, literally billions.
Yeah.
But it's still not really translated to like that many people actually.
That is interesting.
I tell you
so
what,
we're just like sweet. We're just like.
I tell you what, I reckon all of it is the sheer amount of time, and that goes for both. Like it doesn't really like. I actually listened to that section on the Gypsy Tales one, and it doesn't take into consideration the 10 years of having zero money that Behrman and Hodges had before. Well, obviously neither of them had zero money, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and the same goes for you. And like with trials, think how long you have to do it to actually be.
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line between kind of like slopestyle, for instance, doesn't make people want to take up dirt jumping because it's so far removed. It's like gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether that's the case with kind of what you boys are up to. It's quite hard to sort of then look at your Apollo and think, yeah, I could probably do that.
That's fair. That's true.
I think trials is kind of like I think there's just like a little bit of a hump. I think when you first try trials, which is quite that kind of like almost like a little like the sort of jump that you'd put at the start of a jump line to kind of like stop kids like killing it. There's a little hump that you need to get over. I think in trials, like when you get like basically if we're at a show or something, a kid will be like, see what we're doing, they're like, oh, can we, like, they want a shot of our bikes, whatever, and they kind of have it in their mind that, right, they've got like a mountain bike, but we're on a trials bike, so they just need to jump on that trials bike and they'll be able to do like some of the stuff. And like the disappointment on their faces is like brutal because they get on it and the bikes feel so weird, it's actually like harder to do what they're doing because they're used to their bikes. And I think if they just actually like, the hump's probably not actually that big, it's like maybe a couple of days worth of just like figuring it out and maybe learning a gap jump. But once you get to that, the progression curve can be like pretty insane, I think. Well, that's what I remembered. Right. I think there's just that first little bit that kind of just like kills most of it off, if you know what I mean. Whereas maybe
just like you've got to get those fundamentals down, and then after that you can start progressing pretty quick.
Whereas like say if you're like riding cross country trails with your dad or something like that, straight from the off, like you can kind of like ride down a trail like just way slower than maybe your dad or your bigger brother or whatever. But you're still kind of doing it straight from the get-go. But I think with trials, there's just that little bit that kind of like, just, I don't know, maybe just stops like.
And probably quite frustrating if you're new to it as well, where you can't get it and you're smashing your shins to pieces.
And like that's where like having like someone a bit older, or whatever, that can like teach you to do, which I think like myself and Danny have all had, like in our respective like towns, that will just got us over that hump. And then once you're over that, it's just super satisfying, and then it just takes off from there.
I wonder with attention spans, I think how long I just slaved away like not being bad at biking when I was a kid, but I was still completely in love with the entire process. But I wonder with if attention spans are getting lower, and certainly me watching a film would suggest they are, because I struggled to watch a film when I never used to. I wonder whether that does affect sort of sports, because ultimately, just to be good at anything, the amount of repetition you actually have to do is just it's quite boring. It's like it's such. If you wrote it down at the start, I'm not sure I would have been like, yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah, 20 years and all these broken bones and like no social life and.
I think Ollie, like we're probably in like similar positions where our sort of professional bike careers have kind of happened quite late.
Yeah, probably.
Do you not agree with that in terms of like getting deals with like certain like bike deals and stuff? I don't know what you've been doing, like, but I know you were like working with stuff for a while before, and then obviously you've had.
I was just bumming for so long, and like being a pro was sort of like you weren't really professional. You couldn't survive off just riding, so I was doing all sorts of other stuff to sort of get by. So yeah, I think you're probably right. Like, and I wonder whether that's from the growth of the sport or just through. There's another thing. Just being older, you're just a bit more like. I think generally, in terms of a normal person's career, you just come to a certain point in life where you get it a bit more, and people are more likely to believe in you and trust you with money. I guess,
Yeah.
or like with
Yeah.
responsibility, or
Your sponsor me emails just get a little bit better.
yeah, exactly.
You just level
P's
up a
and
little
Q's.
bit.
You just
Yeah.
click on that little red wiggly line underneath each word.
It's amazing what comes back. Yeah, you're probably right though. Like you say, I feel like with age as well probably comes a little bit of it. People probably, I don't know, maybe brands look at it like, oh, he's just a young guy, like he probably doesn't need that much money, he probably
Yeah.
still lives with his parents. But when you get to like late 20s, it's like, oh no, he's probably got a house, like he's got a mortgage, he's probably taking it a bit more serious. I don't know. Did
think,
you work jobs then before Dunk? Like, have you?
What did you say? Sorry, did I have?
Did
a
you
job
like
before?
work a job before turning?
Pretty random. Like I left, so I used to be into like more like competition trial stuff, which
Yeah.
is like that was kind of what I was into in like my teenage years. Which there's like not really any sort of money in that at all. That's like would be even harder to make a living out of that than like even like downhill or whatever. Because even if you did actually make it to the top, that's the thing with that. Like, even if you make it to the top, like you're still be struggling to like get deals. You still have to do shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually went to uni, and then I was kind of like, and to be honest, I think like Danny and Ali are the same. Like we never really like, because of trials, even though there was like Martin Ashton and Halsey and stuff, and they were pros, there still wasn't really like a sort of tried and tested like route to being a pro rider through trials. So it almost like it wasn't really like an option. So we just carried on like riding. So I went to uni, and it wasn't until like my first or second year at uni, me and Danny just started doing shows for this guy called Ian, who was like running a show team called the Clan.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it in the podcast before. And we basically just like, we had a contract to go around schools and stuff, and that was like the first time we were like started making like decent, well, like what we thought was like real like good money back then doing shows. And I was like, this is like a thing, and it was like something that you could do as a trial rider that maybe like as a mountain biker you couldn't do. And we just ended up doing that for like, I did that throughout the whole time I was like studying at uni, when Danny was like at the shop and Ali was working at like Tarty Bikes. We were just doing shows like every weekend, but it was always kind of like as an add-on to like what jobs they were doing, and an add-on to like me being like a student or whatever. And then when I finished uni, we were just so busy doing shows, I just carried on doing that because it was like just as good a money as like what all my friends who'd like finished uni were like going into doing like their sort of entry level like banking jobs and shit like that. So I just carried on doing that, and then did that for like 2 more years, and then finally started drop and roll. But I had like little jobs like here and there like before that, but then since then, which was like 2014, just been doing shows and riding.
And I'd be interested, like, where do you think it's going? Because I noticed recently you signed with Marin, and that they obviously don't make a trials bike, I don't think.
No,
So-
they don't.
And is that, so are you going more like mountain bike direction? Is like how? Yeah,
I
how
just
do you
want
see
to
that
do
playing
it.
out?
I just like to do everything, to be honest. Like,
Cool.
To be honest, like I didn't really ride mountain bikes a whole lot until that's like another thing that I've kind of benefited on from lockdown. Whereas used to live in Glasgow, riding the trials bikes with like Danny and Ali all the time, or either by myself or with Danny and Ali. To go mountain biking would be like an hour and a half drive to like Innerleithen on a mountain bike as well. So it was like before I even had an e-bike. So suddenly, like before lockdown happened, we moved up north, lived there for like 6 months, and I went from being trails on the doorstep with an e-bike. So like that switch was just insane, and I was suddenly able to ride my e-bike like I used to ride my trials bike, and that's when I like properly like got into it. But I feel like in 6 months, I probably rode like as much mountain biking as like somebody, or like I've literally rode more in 6 months on my e-bike than I had ever before.
Really?
Fit
So
together,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, that is rad.
Because I always felt like, because I didn't have like, I am still by no means a good mountain biker. I can ride like tech stuff because I'm like a trials rider, but you put me on a jump and stuff, we're just absolutely useless. But I didn't even feel like comfortable like approaching mountain bike brands before, because I literally felt I couldn't ride mountain bikes.
Yeah.
So that's like where that's happened. I'm like, but now I just like to do everything. And the cool thing I like about it is like trials is so hard on your body. I feel like I could maybe do like 2 hours on the trials bike, and that's probably me pretty much done. But you can do like an hour, 2 hours on the e-bike, and then still be good to ride the trials bike. So it's not like doesn't really take away from each other, which is pretty cool. I don't know what you feel like with dirt, Ollie, in terms of mountain bike, or do you ever do double bike days?
Fucking every day's a double bike day
Yeah.
for this guy. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm relentless, eh? Just got really bad ADHD, so yeah, we just medicate with No, I think if I rode dirt jumps like I used to for an amount, like I used to ride dirt jumps for a whole day.
Yeah.
And it is so hard on you, isn't it? Like your hands, your forearms, and I imagine trials. You know, from just me going for a street ride, for instance, in London, I've not done a great deal of trials since I've been been a full adult. I imagine it's so hard with all the weight and
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
bunny
definitely.
hopping around London. I find really hard.
Yeah, even manuals for like a long period of time start hurting your forearms, right? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore.
It's, yeah, I think it's still hard on your body, but I think it's just like a bit different. It's like different enough to like do both on the same day. Not that I do it. I say that I don't do it that much, to be honest, but
I feel like a lot of trials riders will have got a mountain bike for fun, but I bet it doesn't go the opposite way around. How many mountain bikers have got a trials bike?
yeah,
Just
pretty
for a
much
bit of fun in the afternoon.
Almost every trials rider will.
You got one?
Yeah, dude. Of course I've got one. I've got
Yeah.
Monty B219 Op P replica.
Oh really? Have you got it there?
I've not got it behind me, no. But I actually thought it'd be really
closet
cool.
trials rider, like
Yeah, I used to.
He hides it.
Yeah.
Gets in
I
the
rode
cupboard.
loads of trials when I was younger, and like honestly, I think it makes you. I think it's like makes you so good at biking. Like so many
Yeah.
of the skills that you learn, and like yeah, it's so transferable. Same with dirt jumps. I think it's something about just like hardtails, just keeping it something really simple and repeating it over
for
and
sure.
over and over.
I just thought something about trials, and we're probably making excuses. It's like I think because it's so like we're like so tense trials bike, it makes you good for like riding, good for going up. It's like good for like technical uphill riding, especially on the e-bike. Good for like steep technical shit. But for style and jumps, it's like I think the opposite effect. Like you'd literally be better to be like a non-rider to get into jumps. If you
You
go
think
from
yeah,
trials.
and it's
Yeah.
something
So,
about the motion, like the energy that a wheel has when it's moving, or what?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think like because we're like so used to doing like static stuff, and then like so used to whether you're going from like flat ground up onto like a hop, you're like or using maybe a bump or like a kick or whatever. Like in the drop and rolling, for example, we have these like kickers to get you onto like the trailer, or a kicker to get you onto like a smaller kicker to get you onto like a 7-foot box. And it's all about like super short run up, and when you hit that kicker, you're like getting everything you can out of it, and you're kind of like throwing it to like back wheel. Whereas when I go and try to ride a jump, it's all about like chilling on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, you always use
Whereas
it like
I'm just like so tense, and I'm like right, pull back, and then I'm like just like
Just super high.
yeah, and then I'm like right now I need to like do the opposite, and then you're like just tense, and then you're like buckaroo over the bars or whatever, and it's just like ugh.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
accept
there's
it,
just
can't do it,
certain
and do it.
things that a child's brain absorbs that's much harder when you're an adult. You know, like
Yeah,
you
maybe.
learn to do so many different skills when you were younger, and I learned to do jumps, and you know, Davey learned to do a motorbike. And if I can't learn certain things now, I feel like
Yeah.
perhaps what we were talking about earlier, surfing. Maybe
Yeah.
it's going to be harder when I try and learn surfing, but I do
Maybe.
think it's way harder when you're young.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
your
maybe.
calling. I don't know. Like, it's funny. I was talking
think
to
I
Ali
sit
actually
somewhere in
about
between,
it.
like, maybe. Yeah.
It's what?
No, I was gonna say I'd sit somewhere in between. I think like this probably is true, and I'm sure there is like science there. But then sometimes I think it's like you're just like, I'm not a kid anymore, and it comes like a lounge, like I just like
Yeah.
can't do it. But you just thought surely like should still be able to learn shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And,
know what you mean.
and probably you do that. You probably do get to, unfortunately, you get to an age and you're like, I can't do that anymore. But
Yeah.
that's
I
the
think with
spice of life is buying the toy and just trying it out, isn't it?
as a kid, there's no boundaries. That's really what
Yeah.
it is, isn't it? So there's zero of that thought. It's like, well,
And more
I'm
time.
going to learn to do it. I've got loads of time, and I'm going to learn to do it. And you
Yeah.
don't have any like, I shouldn't really hit that thing. That's a bit steep, and you just think,
Yeah.
well, he can do it. I want to do it.
Yeah, have you seen that kid Harry the Beast?
Yeah,
Harry
he's
Schofield?
yeah,
Like-
crazy, isn't it?
Not just like what he rides, it's like the way that he kind of does it. It's just like you can tell he's just has like complete confidence, and he's just like not bothered. It's like, here's me backflipping my BMX, here's me backflipping a mini BMX, here's me backflipping
Yeah.
my full stuff. It's like, you little shit. Like,
Dude, that young lad that you ride, that young lad that came to Freedom Ride, Ollie, what's his name?
Who's
Who,
that?
whose family have something to do with where the bike park? Is it Billy? No.
There's like, well, just the Groms up at Rogate.
No, he's not. I don't think. Where did Bren build the
Oh,
corner?
Billy, yeah, sorry, Billy Boy, yeah, Billy Pugh from
there you go.
Red Hill Extreme, sorry, yeah. It's the same thing
Shreds.
again. When you see like natural talent, or you see like a kid, maybe it's not even natural talent. Maybe it's just a kid that's got it. He understands it. He knows what's going to happen when he hits that lip.
I just haven't enough to kind of know, but it's class. It's like
It's
super
so
inspiring
impressive,
to watch
isn't it?
Slightly annoying, but cool at the same time.
So if I was
He's
to
like my
pick back
favourite
up,
follow on Instagram. Like,
yeah. If I was to pick back up the trials bike, Dunk, what would you say is going to be the thing that I struggle with the most?
I
And you
don't
can
know.
be
I
honest
guess
here.
what do I think you're going to struggle with? I don't know. I guess
don't
it'd be
know,
like certain things you'd be like pretty good at. You'd be good at like more of the flowy stuff. Maybe not on that money because it's like maybe not the best tool for the job to do like kind of streety
Dare
stuff.
you?
Mate, slagging off the Monty. I
Dare
hear
you?
it.
Things
Dude.
that's an antique.
Tell that to
like,
Op P.
That's an antique. Have you seen some of his recent videos, by the way?
Martin told me to watch one, and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you need to watch it. They're meant like it's kind of weird. Like the concepts are kind of odd. I think he's like been sponsored by like the government to do like COVID.
Oh, really?
Like
Right, I'm writing that down.
something to do with something to do with like staying at home or something. I don't know what it is. But he's wearing like full white like suit or something. But like some of the riding he does in it's insane.
What
Yeah,
a G.
Really
I feel like we
insane.
spoke
Yeah.
about this.
I think we might have, yeah.
Someone brought up Hot
Maybe
Pink.
Danny or Ali mentioned it when they were on because we were
Yeah.
chatting about it. It's insane. He's so good. Like, and he's like, must be well into his mid to late 40s, I think.
I used to watch the how-to videos, some of his earlier
Yeah.
work. Dude,
It's funny,
actually,
yeah,
on
I
that
don't
note, imagine if, say, what's the most viewed video that? What's like the most viewed? Let's say what's the most viewed video that Danny's had or Fabio's had?
Probably like.
Because they're realistically the
I
biggest.
think Danny
mountain
was saying like his Cascadia video had like over 100 million. That's what they were saying on the podcast.
Imagine you sold 100 million VHS tapes.
Yeah. It's like Metallica level. Like.
Holy, dude.
Metallica level.
watched-
That is.
Op P on VHS.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, maybe he didn't do 100 million, but he might have done like a couple 100,000 or something.
But we did alright, eh?
Yeah.
I bet that skills and tricks video did well though, because everyone had that.
Oh,
There was that and fundamentals. When that came out, everyone went mad for fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like Ashton and Halsey. They had like what tricks and stunts, whatever.
Tricks and
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah.
the crack with that is though. Like who like made that and stuff. Because that's actually really well made, that video.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Halfords, you could go to Halfords to get your
Yeah.
videos in from the old stand at the front of the counter. It's crazy.
There was that
that's
company that they always had the logos on all the VHS mountain bike.
Duke, I think it was.
That's it. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
dude.
the
It was like a
red logo.
motorbike company, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Duke
always
video.
like it's kind of like pre-YouTube when you think about it, because it was always like my brother used to have like and they walked away 6, and it was like 2 hours of just gnarly like motorsport crashes.
Yes,
As they walked away.
yes, it was, dude. Oh,
And then
man, I
like
forgot about
actually they didn't walk away from this one. Or, like,
that. Yeah, this one's a little bit dark.
yeah, like, are you sure
Yeah,
they did?
Duke. I forgot about Duke. There was Duke. There was like Chili video. That one was pretty big.
Yeah.
Chili
Or maybe
video,
it was Chili,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's weird actually. I've never even thought about how much money they must have been making back then.
Yeah, probably. Well,
True.
now you get like what do you reckon it is on a play on YouTube, like.
Ooh, not that much, I wouldn't have said. But
No, I heard on the Warner one. Sounds like you're doing some pretty big numbers, Ollie.
yeah, I'm chilling.
On
You know,
YouTube,
chilling.
yeah?
What can you do? I did all right 1 month when I broke my ankle. So I think that's all you got to do.
That's an unsustainable income stream I've ever heard one. Like, you're gonna let
Do
you
a
run
video.
out
What,
once.
what body part next do you want, folks? Come on.
Dude, it worked for Duke, didn't it?
Yeah,
You won't believe they walked away from this.
crash
The
highlights.
signs were there.
Oh man, so you've made some good every cloud and all that, I suppose.
Yeah. That's it. I
When
like
are you
it.
back riding? Are you riding again?
Dude, I've been riding the last few days on an e-bike
That's it.
every day. Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be
Man.
back. I'm literally
Yeah,
sat
cool.
down pedaling around on my own, but stoked.
Class.
Good.
How long's that been then? Is it like?
9 weeks now, I think.
Oh, shit.
God, it's gone fast, man.
That's mental, isn't it?
Doesn't feel that fast for me, but yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's gone fast. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole YouTube thing's mental, isn't it? Like with, I don't know. It's a weird world that everyone's in now. Like, wow.
Dude,
Mega
so strange.
Yeah.
Mega strange. But hopefully, like I say, we've got some light at the end of the tunnel. We can get together. We can get things going again. You know, we can do some in-person podcasts. We can do all sorts.
Nah, it'd be class. Yeah, it'd be cool to do
Go
something.
to a club.
No, I know. 21st of June, is it?
Apparently.
We should get a big street ride or something on the go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should. What's that?
That's Dunk. I'm subscribed, dude.
Nice.
Oh, nice. You just subscribed there? I've subscribed to you ages ago.
No, I did ages ago as well. Do you know there's the problem with it? Because have you noticed the figures? You have like 80% of the people that watch your videos aren't subscribed.
Yeah, I think like
How does it
subscribers don't mean what they used to, if you know what I mean.
Ah, okay,
So,
fair enough.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I was
it's all
saying, yeah.
about like suggestion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird one though, isn't it? Because I always think like I always watch videos on like Apple TV,
Yeah,
like
I do
on
as
the
well.
YouTube thing.
Same
So it
for me.
means
What YouTube
like,
videos?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it means like it's just like suggestions. So you end up seeing like the videos that like I don't know. I could see a video from yourself or Brendan or Sam, whatever. But you'll never see the ones that have got like tons of views.
Yeah, it's
It's
weird.
so
isn't
easy
it?
to like, so easy to
just
look at it and be
become-
like,
you just
fuck,
become,
everyone's
like-
killing it apart from me. But then,
Just the algorithm, isn't it? You just
yeah,
end up
and then you
watching
maybe
the
actually
algorithm.
look at their channel and it's like, you're like, not all their views are like, not every video is actually getting like those crazy views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
It is. We were talking about this. Me and my girlfriend were talking about it yesterday. About like you fall into the algorithm, and then you are literally just a piece of data. But that algorithm will only show you what it thinks you're going to watch or want to watch. But what if you want to watch something different, and it might not ever open you up to new stuff?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because you're just going to stay in your little algorithm hole.
He's totally like different industry and region, but like, did you see Martin Scorsese came out and spoke up against the Netflix algorithm?
No.
He's basically saying exactly what you're saying there, it's like on YouTube, but on Netflix, where the algorithms just gives you like what's the least far away from what you've last watched.
That's
So
not
he
how
says
really
it's
the
like,
world works, is it?
yeah, so he's like saying it's killing creativity because like it just means like someone will say like watch a series and like rather than like expand their horizons and then watch like a totally different kind of film or series, they just get served up with like something else that's like kind of similar and like they just get into like this one type of content.
Yeah.
And they won't actually.
Which is how
ever, like,
people get, dark views probably, because you see something that might be politically, like maybe you see something a bit right wing, and then all of a sudden everything you see is like that, and you start thinking, well, everyone else must be watching this shit.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's like people go that way and then that way, and then there's like nothing in between, and then everyone just starts like.
Yeah,
killing
it's
each
weird,
other
isn't it?
and
It's like an AI problem, really.
Yeah.
It's a data problem, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
it's pretty crazy.
I fell into a trap the other day. My iPhone connected to my girlfriend's headphones, and she was in the other room on the turbo. So I did what any good guy would do, and I went on YouTube and searched poo noises, diarrhea. Didn't do diarrhea, that's too hard to spell. Just did poo noises, and then ever since, I log into my Apple TV, and it looks like I've been watching poo noise videos. Like I'm some sort of poo noise.
Oh, wow.
Scat fiend, like. Yeah. I actually. Yeah, you won't believe what I actually bought off Amazon a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually been class. And it's so sad that I've had to buy it. A timed safe for my phone.
Really?
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I even
So
bought an expensive one, so like I knew I wouldn't be able to like smash it up or anything.
Wow.
So I put it in like before I got to bed, like switch it to like 7 or 8 hours or whatever. And
Has it become a problem, do you think?
Yeah,
Through
for
lockdown?
sure.
Really?
Yeah. Like me and Danny and all boys just like, I don't even know what my screen time would be like. Fucking just brutal. The thing is, you can kind of like fob it off as like, oh, it's work or whatever. And you're like, well, not really. It's only like work for like 30 minutes a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And like everything I can do is on my computer, and it's like, I don't know.
It's tough, man. I know Ollie, yours was up, wasn't it? Like 7 hours or something in a day.
When you're just on the sofa, I feel like I've got an excuse. Maybe I'm making excuses for myself a bit. But do you know what I did? Because I when I was in Indonesia, I was alone quite a lot, and I was using my phone too much. So I turned the colour off, so you can make your phone black and white, And dude, it is insane. You don't want to look at that thing. It shows it for what it is. It's boring as fuck. Give it a go, and to people listening, give it a go as well, because
mine's always in black and white.
Yeah, how crap does it make your phone? And it makes me think it's like those casino machines, what do you call it? Slot machines.
The bandits, yeah.
Just like bright colours. I need to look
That's
at
what
it
it is.
more.
I think. Yeah, I'm not taking credit for that, but I'm pretty sure I told you about that it is the colours that gets you addicted. So if you turn all that off...
Yeah, so like literally, so if you go into like what if you go into YouTube? Is it play the videos back in black and white?
Yeah,
everything's black and white. So I have mine set up so you press the little button at the side, like the little home button or whatever that is now. You press that 3 times and it goes back into colour.
So then I'll just have it. Does that not defeat the purpose? Or do you not just like, oh, this is shit, I'll switch
I think it's like yeah, totally. But sometimes if you like let's say you're putting a photo on Instagram, you sort of want to see it in colour because you could be posting some real trash.
Actually shoddy filters on it.
So I'll just turn it on for that. Yeah, just turn it on for that, and then I just turn it back up.
Because I had like that limit on like Instagram or whatever. It was like, right, I'm going to give myself like 30 minutes or 45 minutes a day on Instagram. Like I need to be able to post or whatever, even though that probably only takes about a minute. Maybe a bit of inspiration. But then it just says like, oh, you've like maxed out your time. Do you want to ignore it for today? And you're like, in your like fiend phase, you're like, yeah, I'll ignore that, and then that's it. And you're just done, like 2 hours. 2 hours on Instagram, like mint.
It's almost like when the notification comes up about driving, and it comes up on mine, and it goes, "Are you driving?" And you're just like, "No." Meanwhile, you're like,
"Oh man, I've tried to do. Like I read some books in it or whatever, and I was like, right, I need to do this." So I was like, putting my phone. I like started putting my phone like in the back, just put like an audiobook or a podcast on, and it's amazing. Like once. Because like it's so far back, I know I can't get it. So it's like once you know you can't get it, like the sort of temptation's gone because it's like no longer like a thing.
Yeah, but I read a study as well a while ago that even having it in the room makes your conversation with whoever else is in that room totally different because you probably subliminally, or whatever, sort of going, oh, I need to check that, I need to post that, I need to reply to that. And for me, like one of the best things I've done, and I did this, I think, just after first lockdown, turn all notifications off. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes because people will be like, why aren't you replying to me? But I just like, look, if you actually want me, pick the phone up.
Yeah,
cool,
for sure.
I'll answer. But like not having, WhatsApp going ding, ding, message ding all the time, like all of it's just off. And then I just check into WhatsApp a few times a day, reply, and then piece back out of it.
At the end of the day, it's like pretty much everything you get. Like you say, if it's an emergency, they can call you, and then you just pick it up when you can.
If someone's waiting for you to reply on a message and getting pissed off at you, then they're probably not a friend anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I guess you can get WhatsApp on your computer as well. That's what I was thinking. So like, even though my phone was in the safe, it's still like WhatsApp would still work. So it's like just doing that, but it's not like quite as submersive as like that Instagram feed or like TikTok.
Yeah.
Fuck,
dude, it's dark. Weird. It's not good. It's not good that we're so addicted to these things. It's weird.
I've got this
so
picture of you, Dunk, when you've got your 30 minutes. I'm just imagining how fast you're scrolling. How furiously, just like, comment, just an emoji, that would
do. TikTok, have you ever gone TikTok? Holy shit, that's even worse. It's like...
I don't use that one at all.
Don't even bother.
That's a good one though. Like, I talked to you about it, Dunk, about sending videos to people, because that is a lot of what you'll be doing as well, is replying to messages.
Yeah, I probably should be better, to be honest. Than
go out for a walk and just send videos to people, and it's like so much less, like you say, immersive, I think that's the word. Like you just sat in your house staring at your phone.
Yeah.
It's like, right, I'm out with the dog, I'm going to take 10 minutes, I'm going to bash through all these messages.
Should you literally reply to everyone who sends you a message?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's not as crazy as what you guys are dealing with, though.
I actually do try and reply to people because I don't know what it... Me as a kid would never have messaged. I wouldn't have written a letter to Steve Pete or to Martin Ashton. But if I just imagine myself as a kid with the capability of messaging them. And if it's a cool message and someone's put effort in, I think it's really nice. I think you can actually make someone's day. As stupid as that sounds, and surely it shouldn't make your day getting a message from me, that's for sure. But if it does, then that's cool. I think I don't know.
I'm with you. I'm with you, and I think it's slightly different. I feel like obviously for me, I'm not not an athlete and stuff, but I feel like people do take time out to message and say nice things. So just to take the time out and reply back properly, even with a video, it's like people are like, oh fuck, like thank you so much for doing that. I'm like, honestly, it's like the easiest way of me to do it is just to send you a video rather than type out a long reply.
That's really cool. It'd be definitely cool to get into that, but I suppose it's just kind of like opening a can of worms when you like start.
It is, dude.
Like,
Because I did a video for someone's birthday, and do you know how many fucking requests I get now?
Yeah.
I've honestly thought of doing one of those cameos. Yeah.
I was going to say, can you get on Cameo?
But the amount of requests, and you're like, and like I'd send it, and they'd be like, yeah, can you do it again just with. And you start thinking, what am I doing
More passion.
here? This is like a kid in Spain.
Can you do it again with some more passion?
Say it, a bit more gusto. Can you say like you mean it a little bit more?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. Though. It's one of those. That's what like. It's the like. So like some kids who like do that kind of ruin it for everyone else because they like. I don't know. I can't say this like sound like a total dick, but like. You could like send a message and then like they're now in like your primary or generally folder of Instagram, and it's like you've like right, okay, I'm going to do this, but then it's just like they're not happy with just being like, oh yeah, cool, thanks so much, like what bike do you use, what like I was like can I get a free helmet, like oh like I really want to get a trials but I can't afford it, can I get a trials, but you're just like I don't know, I've tried to you've like let them in, you've tried to do your little bit, and it's just like the fucking floodgates opened or whatever.
Yeah, I don't get.
I know that sounds like shit.
Tried to do your bit with the Nux emoji. You know what I mean? You chuck a bone out there. There you go, mate. Now you want my property, do you? All right.
Yeah. We get so many. You must get it as well. Like when you talk about how you get sponsored, or can I get your bike, or like can I have a bike, and you're just like, oh come on.
It's relentless.
But,
I think they're all very. Generally, I think we've got a nice sport for it. Just everyone seems very nice.
Oh yeah, it's class. Like when I do say, I do want to add that. When I say that, I don't want to like sound like a total dick. It's
it is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, I think it's something you wouldn't think about though as well. I feel aware that you wouldn't think about it if you've what it's like to have that many messages until you have it, kind of.
Yeah.
You would. Why would you know? Like.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't actually get that many. To be honest, it's more.
Yeah, sure you don't. Know what kind of messages you get.
Slide into them DMs.
Nobody's going to message me now after seeing how much of a
he gets
dick
the tit
I am.
pics. That's what Dunk gets.
Dick pics.
He's a smoke show.
Right. We need to be somewhat time concentric. That's not even a word, but we'll use it anyway.
Time concentric.
Thanks, Dunk. Appreciate you stopping by and checking in. Lockdown companion.
Sorry, I've talked complete shite.
Well, everyone, fuck if you don't already. Duncan's got a podcast. There's a link in the show description to go and download it.
It's drop-in podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, the drop-in podcast.
Good watch. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
So drop in.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, dude, thank you. Thanks again. Appreciate it. We'll probably wrap up, Ollie, and we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Look forward to hanging out in real life, Dunk.
Yeah, man.
In the future.
Get a street ride on the go in London or something.
Please.
Yes. Well keen.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
See you later, boys.
Sick.
Do I just hang up here then?
Cheers.
Yeah, should work, mate.
Sweet.
Either that or you're hanging around for a bit. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey,
yes.
It worked.
It worked. There we go. All right. What a guy.
Top
Lovely
bloke.
man.
What a top bloke. I like the bit after they hang up, and you sort of appreciate what a guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're shit at, Davey? We don't do introductions before they come on because it's always like a big surprise when they turn
It's
up.
such a surprise.
Yeah, so we didn't ever get a chance to say, check out Duncan Shaw on Instagram or any of those things. See all the crazy things he gets up to on a bike, because it is... Yeah. He's done his 10,000 hours, I think it's safe to say.
Big time, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And obviously everything's in below. If you didn't know Duncan before, you check him out on Instagram and stuff. You probably will do, but you never know. Should we just do some real quick listener questions? First of all, have you got a listening and watching thing that you want to share with the family?
Yes. Op has released new videos, so they're really good to watch. Watch them. He's in a white suit. Then for the music I've been listening to, I pick the ones with the difficult names, don't I? Jeez. Amadou and Mariam, and that's Sab Ali, and it's the Mike Snow remix. We're going to have the link in the description below, and I'm going to send that straight over to you. Yeah, but that's been my vibe right now on my lonely e-bike cross country rides.
Nice.
How about you,
nice.
dude? How about you?
For me, so I'm going to go with the guy I really like. He's called Born I. He's a sort of like hip hop sort of guy.
Yeah. What, he just lives down your road, or what?
Huh?
This guy you like, he just lives down your road, or what?
He doesn't live on my road, no.
Oh,
no.
I thought you were just talking about a guy that you really like.
No, he's just a guy I really like. Just a guy. He works in the cafe. He comes a tune every now and again.
He's
I'll
so
try and record
nice.
it
He's
next
kind of a
time
hip
I'm in
hoppy
there.
guy. I really like looking at him.
Yeah, he's called Born I. He does like guided meditations as well and stuff. But anyway, he's put a new song out. It's his first ever single on his own, and it's called In This Moment. And I think everyone should check it out. And it'll be in the playlist anyway, if you don't already. And then for watching, it's funny actually because we were talking about algorithms. This was totally out there. On Netflix, I watched a film called Penguin Bloom.
Oh, okay.
And it's good. It's about a surfer actually, a woman who's a surfer and she ends up paralysed. No spoiler alert. Do you know her? She's a surfer woman. No spoiler alert, but yeah, it's good. And then they find a bird and it helps her get back to some sort of normality. Really good film.
Nice.
Bit of a tearjerker. Maybe it's one for you and the missus.
I'll check that out.
All right.
I've been crying at all
Couple of
sorts
listener
of
questions.
shit lately. Honestly, I've been watching all these emotional shows. I've been either I've got dust in the air here, or I'm starting to get a bit more emotional than I've used to be all these years. Some of these fucking shows do me, dude. The ambulance show is too much for me.
We'll get you. Probably should also mention, if you've not already, it's pretty close to the cut-off point for getting your content submitted for the Focus movie. So it's been a good uptake on that. I've had loads of screenshots of people putting the shit in. And it's funny, I went out for a ride on Sunday and ended up getting a little bit of footage from basically having a bad ride. So getting a puncture in the middle of buttfuck nowhere with no spares. So that was great.
There you go.
So I've got a little bit of footage for that. Which
reality TV. The cruel, harsh reality.
So make sure you do that. Link in the show description again. Do that. Okay. A few listener questions, then we'll wrap this bitch up.
You can't say that anymore.
At the Jack Gibbons, did you guys enjoy Accomplice on Netflix?
Oh man,
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it yet.
Right, let me have a look because I might have seen it. But Accomplice.
It's the mountain bike film.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, brilliant.
Jason Statham.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay.
I love seeing high budget mountain bike films. To be honest, it's cool, isn't it? I thought that we were certainly we have less of them nowadays, and it's cool to see them coming out. Bit gutted that Death Grips isn't on Netflix anymore, and that is because it was sort of my only claim to fame. The only mountain bike thing on Netflix.
Really good claim to fame too.
But it's not on Netflix anymore, so the claim to fame has expired.
Where can people watch Death Grip these days? Do you know? Is it online or?
Yeah, it's still on iMovie and
you just buy it.
Amazon Prime and stuff. But
cool.
Yeah, it's still available. But yeah, Netflix, that's G-Move, isn't it? So it's rad to see all of those. That list of riders on a platform as broad as Netflix.
For sure. Okay.
Do you know what I'd be fascinated to know? Sorry to go on a tangent. I'd love to know what viewing figures stuff gets on Netflix.
Yeah, they don't release them, do they?
No.
They don't tell you.
Fascinating. Who knows?
Yeah, really good business model though.
Hell yeah.
It's doing all right. We'll have another one.
It's weird how views validate something as well. So you see you know, one of if let's say we go on Dunk's channel, who's just been on, and one of the videos has hundreds of thousands of views. You click on that one. Why? Why is that? It's just somehow you trust the algorithm that it's been viewed more for a reason. It's not necessarily true, is it?
No, not at all. It might have just fallen into an algorithm, and all of a sudden it's got like, it's true that actually.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is. The more you think about the algorithm thing, the weirder it feels.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, really strange.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not got a name on this one, sorry. So, the listener question is, I guess it's for you. Have you been experiencing any weird sensations this week? Like in the bum area? I was very disappointed to hear you'd rather have an e-bike for riding with the lads in your 3-bike garage rather than a road bike for riding with me. I decided to get my own back and put some poppers in your smell training pots. Lots of love. Guess who?
Right, George listens to the podcast, and I need to keep this in mind when I go talking smack about my road bike in future, don't I? And actually, I have been I've been having a hard time, not in my bum, but my arse hurts now. I'm back riding, dude. Not the hole, not specifically the hole.
Is that what it's for? Is that what the message is meaning?
But no, it's not. She's talking about she's put poppers in the smell things, and it's made my. I guess because she understands the science of poppers, and it loosens it basically does this. I'll show you. But no, just
apparently it does loosen the sphincter. I don't know. Apparently that's the rumour that used to go around.
I think it does, dude. I don't think it's I think it does. Yeah, but it's not my sphincter I've got a problem with. Just my arse, just sat on a seat. Makes me think my normal average daily life. I've probably got arse calluses and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can put up with it riding so much, but
I struggle, man. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but when I was really young, I chipped the bottom of my
coccyx.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now have I told you? Okay.
No, you haven't told me, but I've done
so
mine
now
as well.
It's a bit protruding. It's a little bit of a
is
nubbin.
it?
I call it a nubbin. So it actually rubs on the back of the seat sometimes, and it fucking kills.
Yeah.
Especially, it used to really hurt me back in the day when you get like sand down the back of your pants, like racing dirt bikes, obviously just covered in shit.
Yeah.
And it'd grind away like gravel and then cut. And
that's horrible.
Worse, bro.
I did my coccyx. It's crap. That's looping out backflips. It's a classic coccyx.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Just sat on your ass.
360s. Once one arse cheek landed and the other arse cheek was still going sort of 20 miles an hour that way, and I ripped my bum hole open, made it bleed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was another cool one. Learning 360s.
Did it self heal or?
Yeah, I don't know how. How can a bumhole not get infected if it's cut? That to me is mind blowing.
It's mind blowing,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
There we go.
All right. At Leo Coyle Smith, I'm staying in a hotel in Harlow this week. What should I do with my time? VR
porn, yeah, just
VR
hire
porn.
it, yeah.
Stand in a corner.
What should he do with his time? Well, I guess it sort of depends. If the hotel has a spa, probably just do that. Read a
might do in Harlow.
Read a
nice
book.
Area. Yeah, read a book. Take your bike. Go for a street ride.
Go for a street ride. Try and learn Switzerland squeakers. Fuck! I didn't ask Dunk about Switzerland squeakers. I just want to get more tips because I'm stuck dead at like 5 or 6 scuffs. I can't get anywhere. Bugger. I should have written that down, dude, and I failed. Pissed off.
It's all right. It's okay.
Next time.
Hans will be good. He'll have some secrets.
Hansy, yeah.
Hans will have some secrets. Okay, we'll just do a couple more. Okay. At MTO, the Big O. Who, in your opinion, did the first real dumped threes? I think it was Darren Pokaj. Pokaj?
Is that who you think?
That's what he says.
No, that's what he says. See, I just think of BMX, you know? So I think of a guy called Ronnie Krieger. I don't know if you remember him. He had his eyes were quite close together. That's how I remember him. But he used to do the most dumped, the sickest spins, and they're where I'd already been spinning for years, and I was like, well, that's a completely different thing. He's going so, you know, like front wheel, underneath, back wheel.
Yeah.
I used to do them real flat, but never dumped when I was a kid, and so when I saw him do them, but in mountain biking, it's a really good question. I don't know. So that is Mo. He's my boss at Focus, and he worked at Resolution, so he's deep within kind of the FMB tour and competitive slopestyle riding. So to be honest, if there's a guy that you listen to, it probably is Mo. So
yeah,
I think maybe
I'd say Darren then.
Darren. I think Darren did it.
Darren, known for his dump threes.
Ronnie Krieger did him in my eyes, but I think his name's Ronnie Krieger. I probably fucked that up as well.
All right, we got to do this one. At Murray Rawson 85. Why do you think it's okay to ride Surons in bike parks?
Why do I think it is?
No. Oh yeah, that's what it says. Why? No, it says why do people think?
Oh.
But I think it's because people are scumbags. I think that's top and bottom of it.
You can't
Dude,
categorise EMX riders.
You can. Dude, when it comes to those things, those like electric motocross mountain bike transition things, it is the chariot of scumbags.
I'm telling you,
in
dude,
my
it's
opinion.
the start at the end. It is the start at the end. You mix that with Alexa, right? Mix that with Alexa and the algorithm, and it's going to be wheels spinning on your face as you sleep until you die, and that's the end of the world. So I think
I'm sticking with it. It's a chariot of scumbags, and
those things are landfill, dude.
They are, and you know what they use them for? A lot of time in cities. This is a fact that I've just made up, but they're using them for drug dealing because
it's silent.
Yes, silent, and you can get around. You can get away from police. You can nip down generals. You can you can do wheelies for your friends.
Yeah.
You can get a girl on the back.
Silent and deadly.
They sound quite good, to be fair.
It does sound. and let me tell you, I hate the things. And if I had a bit of land and I could build a track, I would definitely be ordering 10 for me and my friends.
Oh dear. But no, they're shit, and people shouldn't be riding them. Obviously, people should not be riding them anywhere. Yeah, never mind
insane.
A bike park.
Yeah.
They should be in landfill.
Hopefully, it's just that first little bit where stuff isn't. I guess it goes below the radar at the minute, and hopefully it.
Yeah, just need legislation, but it won't really help.
You need a registration plate, and you should be held responsible for your actions. That's quite frankly what me and Davey and all of the people here at the Lockdown Companion believe. So yes.
Totally.
And I'm about to write a letter about it, Davey. Okay.
Don't write one to your local council because they're fucking useless.
Yeah, they don't.
Mine are anyway. Like I've been trying to get hold of someone in the council now for nearly 3 months.
What's it about? Let me guess. Recycling bin.
No, building a BMX track. Actually, quite a good thing.
Good man. Nice.
So there you go. All right, this is a good one actually, and it's going to be our second to last question.
Okay.
Because we're going to go into something after, and then this is a good one. So this is a challenge for the listeners as well. This is a challenge.
Yeah.
Ollie, this is the question.
Yeah.
Did you ever do an IQ test? Would you do one and share the results for the listeners?
I will never do an IQ test because I want to sail through life thinking I'm smarter than I am. And if I knew my IQ, I'd have a number that I would attach to my own self-worth, and it would slowly pull me apart.
I've never done one either, you know.
No, I'm not.
So if you want to, you can. If not, we'll not. Let's not go down.
Dog, I'm not interested. It honestly scares the shit out of me. I'm not interested.
Mate, I know I won't get to the end of it, and it'll be like a 0 score.
You failed.
And it will be You
literally have the same IQ as a potato.
Yeah, it'd be bad. All right, we'll try that again next week. Freedom, and then we've got quite a few actually. But Freedom Ride 21, is it on? It's probably something we haven't spoke about. Maybe we can do it on the next episode. But when we actually when do we go? Right, we're not in lockdown anymore, and we can.
It's looking like it's on if we stick to the plans.
But when do you think out of those stage 4? When is it not lockdown?
As in, well, do you know what I think we should do? I think we jumped the gun this time. Last time. I think this time we should actually wait until there are no restrictions and it reaches that June, whatever it is.
And we're in what, February now?
Yeah, it's going to be a long time, but I think that's
8, 12, 16 more episodes, folks.
Well, maybe that's the case. But nah, dude. As soon as a few things make a big difference. If you can go to a coffee shop, if you can go to a pub, it feels like freedom again. Doesn't matter if certain things are still weird. So, but I think if we're really going to do this,
we'll just know.
Yeah, we'll just know. It'll just be a feeling.
We'll just know.
Yeah.
All right. So you're happy though? We're good to carry on.
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay. I got you. All right. We'll keep going. It's good. People are still loving it, so we're good. We'll just carry on.
I'm good to carry on. It's like a therapy session.
It is. Well,
It's
the only
good, I
person I
like
speak
it.
to other than Emma, so yeah, it's good. It's
There you
gold.
go.
All right, and that's it, and that's that. It's a wrap. We got,
It's a wrap.
Yep, we got some cool shit happening on the next episode. We're gonna have a cool guest. We've actually
Hell
got
yeah.
a new sponsor going to be joining us, and there's going to be a giveaway attached as well. We got and you're going to get a little package delivered before the next episode as well, which I've arranged. So you'll enjoy that.
No, you're not.
Yeah, boy.
Sending me stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not. Someone else is.
Woohoo!
Anthrax coming back 2021. Cool, man.
Cheers, dog. It's been a pleasure.
It's been emotional.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy.
Thank you.
Happy episode 25. Peace and love.
One love. Peace. All right.
You are part National Lockdown. Lockdown. The Lockdown Companion.